Welcome back to Healing Homes Connection Challenge. We are in day 2 and we are talking about homework time without the screaming and gnashing of teeth. I am Kristen Foltz, your parent coach and adoption advocate here at Healing Home Coaching. Now, when we think of homework time as parents, normally there's a little bit more stress, a little bit more strife. There could be even screaming, and definitely at some point, I know you have really needed some timeouts or some extra tools to help yourself as a parent be a little bit more zen while you're working with your kids' homework, projects, and all kinds of other little things that the school needs for them to be successful and get really good grades. Now, I know for some parents, an A plus all the time isn't realistic. And I know some parents, a C is average. Now, what I would like to do for you today is give you some tools, tips, and tricks to help you have a more connective, calm, and peaceful homework time with your kids. Let's get started. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is setting the expectation for your kids. Now, a lot of times parents are busy in the afternoon, they're stressed, they've had a full day of work, and homework is just something that's added to the stress of the home. Now, for my IEP kids or my special needs kids, in their IEPs from the 504s, you do have a right as a parent to advocate for less homework or no homework. For a parent that doesn't have a special needs child, you can also advocate for your kids for having less homework or no homework. In some situations, it's necessary. In some situations, it's simply effort, time, and resources. So practice what you're wanting them to do when you get home, starting in the morning. Yesterday, we talked about setting them up for success, giving them ideas as to what would be expected when they got home from school. And that is a good time in the morning to tell them and to role play and to practice what's going to happen when they get home. So once they get home from the school bus or you bring them home in the car or whatever, practicing and redirecting them towards homework is a good step. Now, a lot of times kids are stressed themselves. They've had a long day. There's a lot of sensory things, a lot of noise. Giving them a few minutes to calm and center themselves is a great idea. They also need snack, time to relax, water, and some exercise. This will do a couple of things. Our kids do better when they have food, water, and some type of activity every 2 hours. It sets the brain up for success. It shows them that their elementary needs are being met of food, care, and water, or liquid, whatever. And it lets them know that we're transitioning into homework time. Now, some parents will do it hand in hand with their kids. Some parents will do it with their kids, for their kids. And some parents just say, have at it, let me know when you're done. Homework time, because it can be stressful, these are the times when you need to be very mindful of your tone of voice, your level of connection, your level of, are you shaming? Are you putting your child down? How's your cadence on your voice? These are things for you as the caregiver and leader of your ship to be mindful of, because we want our kids to be happy and to learn. And if they find homework time to be stressful, that in the long run is going to be more difficult for them to connect with you guys when it's not homework time, because it is something that has to happen every day, and it is an elementary part of maturing and growing through the school years. It's going to get harder every year. So it's important for you to be connective. Praising your kids. Good job. Oh, that was really good. Uplifting them and not shaming them. And here's a tip. Once the homework is done, it's done. No redos, no saying this looks like chicken scratch. This is something that's really important for you as a parent to be mindful of. Once it's done, it's done. It doesn't carry on to the next morning. It doesn't carry on with screeching on the way to school. It doesn't carry on into the classroom. Once the homework is done, it's done. And if it doesn't get done and your child's at the age where they are responsible for that, let it be. Your job as a parent is to connect, correct, and be there. And if the homework is a consequence of them not doing it, or a lower grade, or something, a consequence at school, let it happen. It's not worth the fight. Now, that's my little soapbox. But still, if the child's at the age where homework is, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, and it causes stress in the home, it's not worth the fight. So work towards a happy median, work towards compromise, work towards a connective state of working with your kid and trying to help them. And if it doesn't work out, it's not worth the fight. Letting them face the music with their teachers. And I know as parents, we want our kids to have the best grades possible. But if it's causing more strife and it's causing more stress in your home, it's not worth it. And I know it's really hard to say that, but being mindful of triggers that you may have from childhood for homework or grades or accomplishments or whatever the case may be, if you're aware of things that can cause you stress, your kids are going to pick up on it. So being mindful of where you are in space, in emotions and triggers, and when homework gets stressful and homework gets tense and you're wanting to yell and you're wanting to hand out consequences instead of be connective, take a step back, put yourself in timeout, and just breathe, or meditate, or just take a couple of minutes. This would be a good time when you're feeling yourself escalate to give your kid choices. Do you want mommy to help you? Or do you want to try this question or that question? Or how about you try the first page and I will help you with the second page? And you do that dance of figuring out what works. If your child triggers when you walk away, then you know that. If your child triggers when you try to help them, be aware of that. And compromising and giving them choices. Okay, it's been 30 minutes, you're getting a little squirmy, go take 5 minutes and jump on the trampoline. Or go run, or go take 5 minutes. Now, screen time can be controversial, and I will say that screen time is not good for our kids. I will stand on that. It causes more brain activity to get going in the wrong places, and it's really not advisable for your kids to have screen time before homework. Now, if your child has that constantly, it's kind of counterproductive. Limiting it, using it as a positive consequence, using it as a limited resource, yes, absolutely. There are times when that is beneficial. But taking away consequences, or taking away screen time and homework time and all of those things that can cause more tension when you're trying to finish homework, it's counterproductive. So as far as screen time is concerned, it's really important to be aware of your child's triggers. So if screens, tablets, whatever, is something that amps your child up, don't do it. Don't allow them to do it before homework time happens. Let it be something that once homework is over, that they can head to it. Putting systems in place for success in your family. So I just mentioned that being mindful and aware of your own triggers, being mindful of the triggers that your kids have, and just learning what works for you. If you're trying to do the same 5 things and all 5 things cause screaming and gnashing of teeth, let's try something new. Let's try a different approach or technique or tool or resource that can help you stay calm, help your kids be not so stressed and tense, and something like homework time can be enjoyable. Your child is learning and growing and expanding their brain, and you have the opportunity to connect with them as you help them grow. Setting a timer. If your kid can only handle 5, 10, 15 minutes of focus time, set a timer. That way you know there's an end result, they know there's an end result, and there can be a 5 minute of downtime. Now, I know that may draw homework time out a bit, but it's going to be worth it because the brain's going to be able to collect itself. They're going to be able to relax for a few minutes, and they're going to know that there's an end time to all of this strife and tension that doesn't need to be happening. Another thing that I do for me, even when I'm trying to create content for you guys or study, or need to focus on something, I diffuse essential oils We are an oil family, and I find that wild orange is very creative and it gets the juices flowing. It's one of those morning blends, but also great for the afternoon as well. It's happiness in a bottle, sunshine in a bottle. I also use a lot of rosemary, and there's a doTERRA blend that's a focus blend that I use a lot for myself. I have ADD tendencies. Squirrel. Seriously, it's bad sometimes. I use it on myself, and it's very helpful for me to be able to stay more focused, more in tune with what I need, and be able to create what I'm looking for in a shorter amount of time. Otherwise, I get very distracted, and typical signs of attention needs. And that's one of the resources we use in our home is the Focus Blend, Wild Orange, and Rosemary. And just being mindful of different things that are causing strife in your family when it comes to homework time. Chores need to be done, dinner needs to be done. If homework time's not working for you when you get home from school immediately, maybe consider doing another item or task and then doing it later in the evening. But trying to get it done before everything else happens, being mindful of what triggers your family and your kids, and just being aware and being able to be flexible and resourceful in your resources are going to benefit you in the long run. So those are some tips and tricks on how to have a better homework time. If you want some one-on-one time with me to discuss these resources and more tips for your family specifically, hop on to healinghomelifecoaching.com and schedule a connection call with me, and pop into the Facebook group and let me know how you are doing on our connection challenge. And I look forward to hanging out with you soon. Take care.